Dantila, the rich merchant, lived in the city called Vardhamana. He was a very wise man and was respected by the king as well as the people. Dantila celebrated his daughter's marriage with pomp and splendor. He invited the king, the queen and the members of the court. Dantila had special seating arrangements made for the royal family. In the midst of all the bustle, one of the king's attendants, named Gauramba, sat in the place meant for the king. Dantila noticed this and became very angry. He called his servants and asked them to beat Gauramba severely before throwing him out. Gauramba felt very offended at the public humiliation. He vowed at once to take his revenge on Dantila. He waited for the right opportunity to drop a word in the king's ear about Dantila. Luck came Gauramba's way and he was asked to sweep the king's bedchamber. One morning, when Gauramba was in the royal room, he saw that the king was half awake. Gauramba pretended to mutter to himself, "Tchh, tchh, chha. What is the world coming to? The king doest know that Dantila, the merchant, kisses the queen whenever he comes to the palace." The king jumped out of the bed when he heard this and asked Gauramba if what he had just said about Dantila and the queen was true. Gauramba pretended to be frightened and said, "O king, I did not sleep last night as I stayed up to gamble. So, I felt very sleepy just now and did not know what I was saying." The king let the man go, but his suspicions had been aroused. He knew that Dantila had free access to the palace, so he met his queen every day. There must be some truth in the fellow's words. Don't they say that what one says when one is half awake is often true, he thought. From that day, the king's behavior towards Dantila changed. Previously he had welcomed the merchant and the advice he gave. But now he relied on him less and less. In due time, Dantila visited the palace rarely. The king ordered the palace guards not to let Dantila enter the palace if he came. One day, when the merchant came to the palace, his entry was barred by the guards. They told him to go away quite rudely. Gauramba, who happened to be on the spot, warned the guards. "Be careful, my good men. The rich Dantila has won the king's favor and has become very arrogant. Be careful in case he beats you as he once beat me." At once Dantila realized that Gauramba had somehow managed to poison the king's mind with some false information. He went home and thought hard about what he should do. Later that evening, Dantila summoned Gauramba and presented 2 fine silk garments, saying, "My friend, forgive me for what I did at my daughter's marriage. I was in a tense mood, and when I saw you sitting by mistake in the seat meant for the king, I lost my temper and beat you. Please accept these as a token of my deep regret." Gauramba was greatly flattered as he accepted Dantila's present and his apologies. "I understand now and am satisfied as you have realized your mistake. I will set to work and restore you in the king's favor once again," Gauramba said with a smile. Dantila watched him leave and thought how correct was the idea that even small things can make a difference to a rogue. Gauramba thought he had been insulted on a minor account. Now he was pleased by Dantila's apology and rich precept. The next morning Gauramba was sweeping the king's bedchamber. He waited till he was sure the king was half awake. Then he began muttering to himself, "How strange is the king's habit. He eats cucumber in the lavatory." Gauramba shook his head. The king was furious when he heard this. "What nonsenses are you talking, Gauramba? I never eat cucumber when I am in the lavatory," he said angrily. "It is only because you are my servant that I have not killed you at once. Forgive me, O king." Gauramba spoke humbly. "I was drinking and gambling yesterday night and am feeling very drowsy. So, I do not know what I am saying." Then the king thought, "If this man says such an untruth about me, he can be equally wrong about Dantila. It was wrong of me to have ignored Dantila. I need his wise advice for good administration." And so Dantila was restored in the king's favor once again. Now do you see how important the role of a mere servant can be? Damanaka, the jackal, asked. "You are right, Sanjivaka," the bull agreed. Then Damanaka took Sanjivaka to meet Pingalaka, the lion king. As instructed by the jackal, Sanjivaka bowed low. "Tell me all about yourself," Pingalaka said. Without omitting any detail, Sanjivaka told the Lion King all about his journey with Vardhamanaka, his owner. How he had been injured, how he had been left behind, and how he had recovered. "You can live in this jungle. I shall protect you from wild animals which also live here. So take care to remain by my side or near me," said Pingalaka. And so began to deepening friendship between the lion and the bull. Pingalaka learned to control himself as he listened to Sanjivaka's wise words. He did not harm other animals as before. Damanaka did not like this because Pingalaka had begun neglecting them in favor of Sanjivaka. "I must do something quickly about this friendship between Pingalaka and Sanjivaka, or else it will be bad for us." Damanaka said to his friend, Karataka. "His court has deserted him. Even if Pingalaka, our master, ignores us, it is our duty to talk to him and correct his faults if he becomes too proud. It is your fault for having brought the grass-eating bull to our master." Karataka said, "That is true, it is my fault, just as it was the fault of the sannyasi who trusted his new follower blindly." Agreed Damanaka. "I have not heard that story before, so please tell me," said Karataka. And so, Damanaka told the story of the trusting sannyasi.